Rob, if you can pull up this clip while we're on it with Doge, go to the clip where Trump says he's weighing giving 20% of the Doge savings to Americans, okay? So, folks, this is kind of weird because they're saying if we find the amount of fraud that we find that you paid money into it, they want to give you 20% of it.
I want it.
Okay? They want to give you 20% of it. Is this the clip, Rob?
Yes, sir.
Watch this clip here, folks.
Sir, Elon Musk is proposing potentially giving money to Americans based on what Doge is finding. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I love it. A 20% dividend, so to speak, for the money that we're saving by going after the waste and fraud and abuse and all of the other things that are happening. I think it's a great idea.
How much money do you think?
Could be a lot. I mean, if it's 20%, we'd give back a lot of money to the taxpayer. And also it would give an incentive for the taxpayer to go out and report things to us where we can save money.
Pat,
So-
what are we going to do about the deficit? Well, you tell me. You're a business guy.
About the deficit?
$36 trillion.
Well, I mean, first of all, I want to say this, and then I'll give you my answer. Because I'm going to come to you
I'm thinking
first.
about this because we should pay it off.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
So I like where you went, by the way. You went straight to a person taking care of their fine. Hey, we're getting a big return. Let's buy Xbox. Let's buy video games.
Let's pay off the
Pay
debt.
off the debt.
Yeah.
Yes, you're thinking the right way, Tom.
Yeah.
Thoughts on this?
Well, I think this is a great idea. And unlike the government that was sending us relief checks during COVID, and some people were getting checks that didn't really need them or deserve them, you notice what they said here. To all tax-paying units, married filing jointly, $5,000. Individual, $5,000. And they were very specific about it in the follow-up. And I think this is a great idea because it sends a message to America. This was your money, and it's coming back to you because we found out where it went, and we're going to rebate you. It's a message to America. People say it's buying votes. No, it's not. He's in his second term. People say, "Oh, you're trying to stimulate the economy because you're not going to have double Social Security checks going out to people, and those double checks can't buy goods and services. So we're in a risk of recession if too much Doge." Because that's one of the arguments, right? We could have a recession if Doge finds a lot of money that we're flowing illicitly to citizens running scams, and all of a sudden that money stops buying plane tickets, Disneyland, booze, all these things.
That's a tricky argument.
It's a very tricky argument, but it's an argument that's being made.
Yeah.
No, you could cause a recession. Let people commit fraud. And I look at it and say, wait a minute. I think this is a positive message for the American. The second part I look at is I'm ready for Chapter 2, and I don't think we can debate it, we can suppose, but Chapter 2 is going to be, okay, what is some long-term deficit to get closer to a balanced budget, and what is the long-term now pay down that debt? And we got an awful lot of oil, and we're about to be the #1 oil producer in the world. If we aren't already, we are based on a projected reserve basis, and we could be just having extraction taxes on our own oil, and that tax goes back to paying down our debt. There's a lot of ways it could go in there to paying it down. But to your first question, Pat, I love this. It sends the right message to America. It was your money. It was wasteful, and here's some coming back to you.
Yeah.
You want me to give my thoughts on this? Okay. So I think this is one of the scariest things for Democrats if they pull this off.
Really?
And I'll explain to you why.
Yeah.
When I first was part of this insurance company, I wanted to find a way to participate in the long term of the company. I wanted equity. Nobody wanted equity. I wanted equity because I wanted to go 20 years, something like that. I want equity on the company. If we make it multi-billion dollars, I want to participate in equity. Like, no, we're not doing that. I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. I'd like to participate in that. We like that. We like that. You own a piece of stock options. You own the company. If it grows, I'm going to get a check. Like my guys right now, some of the checks that the guys get from the insurance company, they're like, what the hell is this? This is part of what happens when a company makes profits. Okay. Yeah. To shift the thinking of a country, if you shift the thinking and say, every time we find wasted money, we're sending you percentage, you have the entire country supporting it.
Yeah, you're right.
Did you understand what happened right there?
So true.
Yeah.
Because what you're now doing is you're revolutionizing the freaking game. Do you know what the opponent can do? When this may be one of the scariest. You know when he said, no taxes on tips. I hate this guy, but I'll vote for him. No taxes on tips. Yeah. But you know what this is? This is no taxes on tips, on steroids, growth hormone, TRT,
Right.
add whatever the hell you want to put on top.
Yeah.
Every single thing on top of that, that's what this is.
Right, but now let me ask you this. There seems to be a divide philosophically. One side says the only way to get rid of the deficit is to tax. But free market people say, hold on, bro, tax. Give me the money so I can stimulate the economy.
right.
Right?
That's right.
And then you'll be able to have a wider tax base, and then we can pay it off.
Yeah,
I
look,
think. I don't know.
Do you have friends or relatives that no matter how much money you give them, they're always going to come back for more money?
Come on.
Don't
It's a
you-
mindset. It's a mindset.
It's a mindset. You are like, you were broke at 50 grand, you were broke at 80 grand, and now you're broke at 120 grand. It's not about how much money you make. Your mindset
It's a mindset.
sucks,
Yes.
okay,
Yeah.
when it comes down to money. And
Yes.
you don't want to admit it. So no matter what, those people, they're always going to have the financial difficulties. But if you get the country sitting there saying, hey, did you hear about what happened? What happened? What did I find? Find some more fraud. They just saved us another $3.8 trillion. They just got $600 billion. They were getting another $3,800 check. Awesome. That's great. We're finding more fraud. That's what's going to happen.
Oh my God.
Do you realize what that
That's
means?
exactly right, man. My father always said the best way to lose a friend is to lend him money, which is true.
Yeah, but see, doing stuff like that, that's remember they were hinting at a third term. That type of shit would make people go, we kind of want him to stay.
Where you going?
Yeah.
Where you going?
Yeah, wait, come back, Trump. That's
Papa.
when that shit
We
changes.
start calling him daddy.
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody needs to understand there's one thing. America is broke. I mean, we can't be any clearer about this. We're rich and broke. There's a difference between broke and poor. Poor is you're freaking Bangladesh. Good luck out there, buddy. Good luck out there in Malaysia. Good luck out there in half these countries in the world.
Listen.
America is rich,
What's your language?
but broke. I know. Shout out to my
Brian has
Malaysians
an
out there.
affinity with Malaysia.
But
Don't do that
Yeah,
again.
by the way, don't
here's
say
what-
anything about Malaysia.
Here's,
okay, Brian.
here's what's
got a
actually
timeshare.
going to happen with Trump. What was Trump's highest approval rating ever?
52?
If that.
Okay.
If that. So I've been saying for years, I would love for a president in America today, in this divided, fractured country, somehow to get to 60%. Let's just break everything into thirds. There's a third of America that's like, Trump, bro. Trump, Jesus, Dale Earnhardt, straight up. And maybe not even that order. There's a third of Americans that are like, I don't care what he does, he's the devil. So remove those people. Then there's a third of America in the middle that are like, all right, let's see what we got. And slowly, he's chipping away. Boom, boom, boom. And if you said like equity in America, every time that we locate X amount of billions of dollars, you're getting a check. You're getting a choke. He's Oprah Winfreying up the whole country.
Yeah, I'll take
Next
it.
thing you know, it's my money
You
and
know-
I need it now.
By the way,
like
for the,
J.G.
for the
Wentworth.
people, for the people that are going to say, I thought you weren't about redistribution of wealth. No, this isn't that. This is called, we found fraud from what the government was doing, not what taxpayers were
Or
doing.
waste.
That's the wasted money of our money. They wasted our money. So now you're firing all of these folks and you're telling them, see if you can make it in free market. You ever go to, like I went to a restaurant the other day. What is the restaurant in Ball Harbor right next to Carpaccio? It's a
Makoto?
French restaurant. No, it's a French restaurant. Ball Harbor
Brian's family.
French restaurant. Okay. So it's called Le Zoo. Okay. Le Zoo.
But of
And I
course.
go over there, and I love going to this place. It's Jennifer's birthday, Valentine's Day, so we go to Le Zoo. The hostess is working over there, okay? So we go in, and I said, you know, we'd like to get a table, and I point at the table. 80% of the place is empty. There is nobody there. And I say, I'd like to sit at that table. You know, I like to sit in the corner. And she says, I have 300 reservations. I said, I understand it, but is that reserved? I have 300 reservations. I said, what do you have available? I can only put you here. And she's being disrespectful to Jen and I. It's her birthday. So we went and ate there the day before. So she takes us to a table, and I'm like, wow. So they reserved that table. We go eat at this lady's name, like Yesden or something like that. With curly hair. We go eat at Carpaccio. While we eat at Carpaccio, great service, phenomenal service. Guys are doing a great job. They come back. I'm watching that table. I go back and I see the table's been empty the entire time. Okay.
Oh, man.
Then I come in and a manager sees me. He's a Yankee guy. I'm a Yankee guy. He says, hey, how you doing? How's everything? I said, I got a question for you. And she's standing right there.
Oh, I love this.
Oh, man.
I said, I came here about an hour ago and I've been watching the entire time. I wanted that table. She said, the tables are reserved. Is that table reserved? He starts rolling his eyes.
Oh, man.
I said, so it wasn't reserved? No. She's on the phone acting like she can't hear. I said, before I leave, did you just hear what your boss said? The boss says what he says to her. Oh, no, I was trying to sit you whatever. I said, no. And then Jennifer comes. No.
Oh.
And you know, Jennifer is very
Jennifer
chill.
does not
So
get into it like that.
no, you told us that table was reserved. That table's not reserved. Anybody can sit there. And then she said, well, I apologize. Guess what? She reminds me of employees that work at the DMV.
Oh, yeah.
Because some people that have that power, they just want to use it.
Yeah, that's right.
The fact that they're firing all these people in the government that treat our customers like shit, let's see how you make it in a free market enterprise. Let's see how you do. By the way, flip side, we go to this restaurant called the French Steak, whatever.
Dirty French.
Dirty French.
In Miami.
In Miami.
Brickell.
Waiter comes. Francisco was a basketball player. Came to the States at 16 years old. He was going to be an NBA player, 16 years old, Mexican, falls in love. Incredible service. When I tell you royal treatment, I cannot even tell you how they treated us over there. From the guy at the front on Valentine's Day that had a red jacket on, from the guy that kept bringing us the drinks, from the lady that would bring us all this stuff. Francisco got a 10. He said, Patrick, can you please give me some love? Francisco, you were amazing. I went to the bathroom. There was a whole thing that said a girl had left a message. I heart Adam. There was all this stuff in the bathroom.
Really?
Yeah, she was hoping that Adam would come.
Oh, okay.
Dirty French love.
Oh, yeah.
But by the way, that guy's going to make it in free market, and the other girl's
That's
going to be
right.
losing
That's
jobs
right.
left and right.
That's right.
So I love the efficiency with government employees. Let's see if you can make the same kind of money treating people like shit in a free market. Tom.
I'll give you a period on the end of the sentence here. Over the weekend, Bloomberg measured 48% of America thinks it's going in the right direction. That is the highest percentage ever recorded in the history of Bloomberg keeping the right direction survey.
Wow.
So guess
Wow.
what? There's a lot of headlines going back and forth and a lot of things going on. But what does America think? That's what we think.
That is unbelievable when you see these stories.
Peabody, what's the book you always talk about? The life cycles of a business, Barbarians to Bureaucrats?
Yeah, Barbarians to
She
Bureaucrats.
is just a bureaucrat just getting in your way, whereas our friend Francisco, flag carrier out there.
Francisco's a stud. Francisco's a stud.
Let him
of a guy.
complain. Let him complain.
Yeah.
America thinks it's happening and it's going in the right direction.
By the way, what did Trump call it during election when we were there? He said this is the golden age.
It's the golden age of America,
And I'm
Vinny.
telling you right
Remember
now,
that.
we are freaking winning, and it's so. And I don't blame the left; they're not used to this. Like, just relax. I know it's weird. Just go with the flow and stop acting
I
like a
have
bunch
to
of
give
bitches.
Brian Callen a shout out then. If you ever seen the movie The Hangover, check them out right now. 1 and 2. You remember the part of the movie when they go, "We're back, we're back," like America's back,
Finally,
baby.
finally.
There it is.
But-
Look,
but
at that,
Hey,
look at that
this
young
guy.
kid.
Look at this
Look at that.
ID.
Brian, you've been in so many movies that the other day I'm watching one of my favorite movies of all time by Gavin O'Connor, Warrior.
Oh, yeah.
Gavin O'Connor, what a freaking stud
That's
of a
my
guy
boy.
he is. He is a him and
He
his wife.
listens to you all the
great.
time.
I love Gavin.
Yeah.
Phenomenal guy, good family.
Yep.
And I see you, I'm like, holy shit. And you killed it. You were so good. And I'm like, the
that time.
relationship with Joe Rogan obviously helped you out. I'm
Well,
sure
I
you watch a lot
call,
of
so Gavin wanted Rogan.
Yeah.
I call Rogan and I go, hey, do you want to do this movie? He goes, honestly, bro, I'm so busy. If it's not a ton of cash, I'm not doing it. So Gavin goes, why don't you play it? And then I said to Joe, I said, you got any advice on how to play this role? He said, take yourself completely out of it. And that's all I did.
The Peabody Podcast gang, the folks that watch this podcast loyally, no matter where we go, they're there. It doesn't matter what part of the world we're in. You guys are phenomenal. Add this to your calendar. Go to vtwebinar.com and register for this. March 4th, we're making a massive announcement about Menect, the circle economy. Massive announcement that I want to tell you exactly what it's going to work out and how all the PBD podcast community folks can work with each other. You'll see this. You have to hear what we're doing here with the circles economy. It's going to be big. And at the same time, on that webinar, I'll also be announcing on how you could come join us this year at the Kentucky Derby. Finish line, 5th floor, the biggest suite in the entire place with 150,000 people watching the greatest 2 minutes in sports. Go to vtwebinar.com, register March 4th, 3 p.m. On that Zoom, we're launching circles. You're going to lose your mind when you hear what we're going to be doing with Menect here on that launch. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.